Black Friday, it's often dubbed the busiest shopping day of the year, and Cyber Monday is just around the corner. The holiday season, though, also comes with a warning. Scammers are using creative ways to take advantage of you and your wallet, sometimes stealing hundreds or thousands of dollars, and often by the time you realize it's too late. Well, to chat more, we're joined by Acting Sergeant George Tudos with Durham Regional Police, cybersecurity and tech analyst Ritesh Kotak, and Master of Management and Retailing Program with McGill University, Anwar White. Gentlemen, thanks for joining us. Sergeant Tudos, let's start with you. Are you seeing an increase in fraud in the Durham region, and is there a specific demographic that's being targeted?
Well, I know our financial crime unit have advised me that they've seen a significant increase in frauds within the Durham region, and specifically targeting every age and background. But the majority of our victims that we see are elderly. So we have seen an increase, which prompted us to do a media release and some other tips for the public so they can protect themselves.
You know, some fraud is easier to detect than others. Others are very disguised. What can you tell me about the romance scam?
Well, I know the romance scam is one that we've seen within our jurisdiction, and it is a little bit more in-depth. It usually involves where the scammer creates a relationship with someone and then fools them into sending money so that they can meet at some point down the road when there really is no relationship, but they really, trick the victim into this. And usually they do target, people that are recently divorced, people that are alone, especially during the times when, the winter times when it is, quieter and you're looking for company. So they do tend to target, their victims, and they usually takes a longer period of time.
And targeting those who are vulnerable, seeking personal connection. Ritesh, let's shift to online shopping. A lot of people are doing that right now. What steps can I take to make it less likely that I'm going to become a victim?
So there's a couple things that you can do. First of all, I always recommend use a credit card, don't e-transfer, because if something goes wrong, you can literally pick up the phone and call the credit card company. The other big thing is when you're actually shopping and giving out your personal information, look on the browser for a padlock. And the reason for that is it means that the site is actually encrypted. You might also see this in you'll also see this in the address bar. So if it says http://cp24.com, that means it's unsecure. But if the S is there, https:// then you know that the information is actually secured. I also recommend use separate email address for online shopping. Don't recycle passwords, enable account notifications, and keep those apps up to date. Majority of the time, these updates are security related.
That's a good point. These simple little tips can save you lots of dollars. Anwar, I want to bring you into this conversation because, we focus so much on Black Friday and Cyber Monday as times when the deals are the best and therefore fraud could be heightened. But how has the pandemic and supply chain issues with the situation out in BC, how has that affected the timing of all of this?
Yeah, that's a really great question. What I've been seeing and what a lot of researchers have been seeing is that because deals have started earlier on, it's given people more of an opportunity to shop and shop more, whether that be online and in store. But we've been seeing, because of the pandemic, that most people have been actually shopping more online.
And so I want to ask you, if the deals aren't always the best, what's driving people to buy right now and potentially getting their guard down?
Yeah, I mean, when people buy during the holiday season and Black Friday, it's because of the nostalgia. It's because of the spirit of Christmas and the holidays, right? That's the thing that's bringing people kind of open to new opportunities and new products and new shopping. And so, it's the time of the season where people are feeling more giving and more open and more generous.
Ritesh, I want to go back to you here because, people, they still send gift cards. Gift cards are still very popular. But another thing we're also seeing now is gifting of things like cryptocurrency. That's a fad, a bit of a Bitcoin here and there. What do people need to be aware of? Because this is a very interesting space, but you can also find yourself very vulnerable.
Absolutely. And you're also seeing NFTs. That's a big thing right now as well. And yeah, cryptocurrencies, obviously the most popular is Bitcoins, and they've absolutely exploded. Here's the one thing you need to know is when it comes to these Bitcoin wallets is don't lose your keys. If you actually lose your keys, there's not much anyone can do to recover them. It's kind of lost. And we've heard horror stories of people actually losing access to their digital wallets. So keep those keys secure. But yeah, this is a big trend. NFTs, Bitcoins, this is the way of the future.
Sergeant Tudos, I want to ask you, I mean, let's say you have been a victim of fraud. It's not easy always to detect. And as I mentioned off the top there, sometimes once you know that you've been defrauded, you think, you know what, I'm out of luck. Well, I can't do anything. Is there anything people can do to get their money back?
Well, in a lot of these instances, it is difficult. However, we do urge, if you are a victim of any kind of crime, whether it's a fraud, make sure that you report it. Make sure that you do contact your local police service, report exactly what happened with as much information that you can. And in some cases, I have seen where, you know, people have either stopped the funds from going from one bank account to another. So it can happen. Sometimes it is too late. Sometimes it's really hard to try to track down where the money has gone. But, you know, never give any of your personal information out to anyone, or even sending money to people that you may not know.
And Ritesh, I'll give you the last word to piggyback off of that in terms of giving money to people you don't know. You mentioned a little bit about this e-transfer versus credit card. A lot easier for you to maybe get your money back if you did it via credit card?
Absolutely. A lot of these purchases would be insured. And if you're using a credit card, there's a number on the back on the back of your credit card that you can call. You can contact a financial institution. You can contact your local police service. But if it's an e-transfer, the money's gone. You're most likely not getting it back. And it just makes life that much more difficult. So use a credit card where possible.
Sergeant Tudos, Ritesh, and Anwar White. Gentlemen, we appreciate your time. Thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.